God bless everyone out there in radio land and in the internet world. This is Barry and Karen coming to you live from Grace Marriage Ministries with our Dare to Be Different podcast on this wonderful Thursday night. And we thank God for each and every one of you that are joining us or going to join us. If you're not, then we thank God for you just looking. So thank God for everything that for all that just for everything. You know, like I say, it's a rough year, but we thank God that God is just doing His greatest with us. And tonight, as promised, well, wasn't promised, but I promised myself I was going to do this because we did do a podcast last night. Of course, you probably don't see that due to the fact that it was doubled up. We was trying to eliminate the headphones and it didn't work out too well. So we decided to stick with the original plan of how we used to do it because we was getting echoes. Because what was happening, we was saying it and it was coming through the speakers and the speakers was delayed, so we was like doubled up. So we deleted that and say we're just gonna go ahead. We're just gonna do it the right way and get it over with. But I did talk about last night that I was going to do a lesson on the book on Matthew 7. Particularly, I was going to focus on the third and the fifth verse, but I'm gonna read the actual first five verses. And the title topic on tonight is looking into the mirror first. And so that's what we want to talk about. We want to talk about how we need to look at ourselves and to focus on our own faults and issues before we deal with others. So we're gonna get into that later before we read the scripture. And then my wife got some words she looked up. She put her phone down. Hello, wife.
Hey, husband.
You can put it closer to you, baby. It won't do it. No, it won't do it. No, it won't do it. Yeah, she had feedback, so she was scared it's gonna do it, but I got her straight.
Yeah, I got them already.
Okay. Matthew 7, 1 through 5, in the New Living Translation says this: Do not judge others, and you will not be judged, for you will be treated as you treat others. The standard you are using judging is the standard in which you will be judged. And why worry about a speck in your friend's eye when you have a log in your own? How can you think of saying to your friend, let me help you get rid of that speck in your eye, when you can't see past the log in your own eye? Hypocrite. First, get rid of the log that is in your own eye, then you will see well enough to deal with the speck in your friend's eye. So, and this is the key thought we want to bring to you today. Okay, pulled this up on a lesson on the internet. It was a devotional. I was looking for something to fit this, and but we gonna expand on it. But I'm gonna read you this, and then we're gonna talk about it. The key thought for this is this: Jesus reminds us that we often pass judgment on others to keep from examining ourselves. This is wrong. In fact, it's obnoxiously and hypocritically wrong in God's eyes. Before you start removing someone else's sawdust, we had better get our own blinding 2x4 board out of our own way. It's ridiculous for us to spend so much time finding all the little things that are wrong with others while we ignore our own huge problems. Let's address our own problems, weaknesses, sins, and inconsistencies that we can be lovingly and humbly try to help others in their problems. And the scripture is also they references Galatians 6:1. I can go there right quick. Um, um, Galatians 6:1, same translation, said, "Dear brothers and sisters, if another believer is overcome by some sin, you who are godly should gently and humbly help that person back into the right path, and be careful not to fall into the same temptation yourselves. Share each other's burdens, and in this way, obey the law of Christ." So now, the whole focus of the thing is that a lot of times we do have that problem. As human beings, we have a tendency to point out everything wrong in a person. We'll notice that they don't think like us. They don't. They associate what they do with who they are. Say for example, you got a person that's a drug addict. You know, we call them, especially they on crack, you call crackhead, call them meth head. Somebody that's on meth, you call them a meth head. If they ain't smoke weed, you call them a weed head, smoke woo, y'all don't know what woo is down here, that up there, wherever y'all at, woo head. But anyway, the whole point of it is that was an action, but that does not mean that's their nature. And we have a tendency to pick out those things, but then we got lying, we got jealousy, we got hatred, we don't get along with our family, we don't get along with our church members, we don't get along with our employees, or our co-workers, but we have all these little inconsistencies in us, and then we go and try to point out my problem. So our job is not to be our job. One aspect, our job is to be fruit inspectors. To expect the fruit that people produce in their life. But an inspector is not a judge. It says, "Judge not, and you will not be judged. For with the same judgment you make with someone, it should be met with you again." The same standard that you use to judge people, that's how people gonna judge you. That's what you're saying. So you don't want to go around judging people based on who they are, what they do, and based on, because if you don't know, especially if you don't know them, see, we pass judgment on people because we don't, and that's where they get prejudice from. We prejudge them. We prejudge them because we, number one, we don't know nothing about them. We don't know their background. We don't know their history. Give you a prime example. Like I say, I work in the mental health field. Young man that we be dealing with, he's in recovery. He's doing excellent. He's one of the most faithful guys we have in our program. He's there when nobody else is there. So we had a gentleman that was prospective employed for that area, and he didn't know this guy, number one. And so he questioned him. He basically interrogated him really about his life, what he was doing, what he was doing in the meantime, and so what he didn't realize, he was trying to say, well, you go out there and cut grass and until you get where you get, and this and that. Now, here's a perfect example of a person dealing with somebody else's mode. That's what the King James called it, respect, and forgetting they got the law. This cat was on a crutch with a half a foot, and telling this guy that was also disabled because he's getting disability. Didn't realize that he can go out and cut grass. But you have a half a foot, and you're on a crutch, but you don't want to go. You want this guy to go out there and cut grass. So what you gonna do? Are you gonna get out there and cut grass? No. He can't do no more than you can. Just because you see him walking does not necessarily mean that he's not disabled, because we know his situation, but that guy didn't. That guy prejudged him. So So it upset the dude, really, because he was talking to him like that. And then we had to deal with that, because the fact is, if you don't know my story, you can't advise me about anything. You have to know me. To come along and tell me, hey, you need to stop this. You need to stop that. You need to stop this. Okay, what you gonna stop?
Right.
I mean, what are you gonna give up? I gotta give up everything. What you gonna sacrifice?
Exactly.
What are you gonna put on the altar to burn? Because I gotta give up everything so that I can be what you want me to be. But what are you willing to do so that you can be for me? See, just like in any relationship, marriage and otherwise, it's a give and take. It's a give and give. It's not a give and take. It's give and give. You give, I give. You give, I give. If you just giving, I'm giving, you just taking, then there's no relationship. That's not even symbiotic. Even a symbiotic relationship had enough. They have a symbiotic relationship is that it's a relationship where both benefit. You know, it's not parasitic. Where you just taking and not giving. It's symbiotic where you're offering something, so that you may, and then in turn the other organism can offer something as well. So y'all work together to benefit both of each other. Perfect example. Cowbirds. Only you saw some of these movies or some of these like programs and documentaries where you have wild animals like water buffalo or something like that. And you see birds on them. That's symbiotic relationship. That bird knows as long as he's on top of that bull, nobody can touch him. No predator can mess with him, because if he's on top of that buffalo, ain't nobody coming near that thing. You know, that thing is thousands and thousands. You ain't finna mess with that. But in the turn, the bird picks all the bugs off him, so he won't get bugs in his eyes, or won't get bugs in his nostrils and stuff like that. So that's a simple. They're benefiting each other. One gets protection, the other one gets relief. That's what you call coveted. And the only way that I can be in covenant with someone is that it has to benefit the other person. So what that got to do with what you're talking about is for prejudging. I gave you the key thought. Key thought is that if I got an issue, and if I'm trying to straighten your issue out, and my issue is not straightened out, then I can't help you. I have to be willing to be, of course, you have to be willing to be honest with yourself, that you do have one. If I can't get out there and cut grass like this guy, if he couldn't get out and cut grass, he got a half foot and crutch. What makes you think the other guy that he's trying to see, we forget that we got issues too. You get disabilities like this dude is. You forget that there it is. It's right there. You can't look around it. It is hard for you to try to pick something out of someone, and you got too much in front of you that you can't see past. So we have to be careful how we judge people. How we judge their situation, how we judge what they do, and how they act, because we don't know their story. Because everybody got one. I guarantee you have a story. I have a story. She has one. Everybody has a story. Your story is the makeup of all the things that happened in your life. That's your story. That's what God is bringing you to. It's the whole deal. You know, and so you guys say something, babe.
And to add to that, we can go further up. I'm gonna jump up a little bit.
Yeah.
He said, why do you worry about the speck in your brother's eye?
That's the focus.
You know, why you worrying about it? Why you so concerned?
Yeah.
Why you so bothered? Why is this? To where I was looking at this, it say it's like to be, you tormented and you uneasy. It's like bringing this uneasiness. Why you having all these unnecessary feelings over somebody's flaws or somebody's shortcomings or something? and we do that, and we'll sit there and worry over it, and I'm like to say, and sometimes we just need to just stop, and look.
Yeah.
Look at you. I mean, I could use myself for example. I mean, but I know, this. Couple of maybe last year or so, I had it bad. I had it bad, and especially when things, like I say, throw my little tantrums or whatever. I had it bad. I see all the specs, the logs, everything. Nothing in my eye, honey. I had good clear vision.
Good clear vision.
Oh yeah, I had 20/20, whatever, the highest rank of vision you could get. Cause I never would want to see myself. But the old living honey, I would see him. Oh yeah, I would see him. I would see his flaws. I would see his shortcomings. I would see everything wrong with him. And like I say, and being hypocritical, being judgmental, and I mean just letting it, telling him about himself, what you need to change, what you need to do, and how soon you need to do it.
Yeah.
But I ain't seen, would never see myself, honey.
And I did the same thing. I was like, we both were saying the same thing. You need change, and you need to do right. You need to get over this, and you need to get past it. I'm got this thing, this thing right here that I need to deal with. You the one. You the cause. So you need to fix what you doing, so that they can get better. God had to tell me that.
And guess how? You know how all that came about? When he just said, "Why do you worry?
Why you concern yourself?
Why you concern yourself? I was too concerned over bearing this. Just too over concerned.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be. I wasn't trying to let be the Holy Spirit to him. I wanted to lead. I wanted to guide. I could see this, and I see this, and I see this. I'm here with you. I see this. You need to change. And just being like that. And sometimes you catch yourself, and you be like, whoa, stop, and pump your brakes, and just being, like he was saying, some of these things, being hypocritical and being obnoxious. And I mean, you could be surprised how we can, when we see somebody's flaws and shortcomings, how we could just be this rude, and how we could just talk about them and get these little groups of gossiping sessions, just gossiping like crazy about talking about people.
Oh yeah. But here's the. You finished?
Go ahead.
I want to make sure. The word that he used when he said that, he said afterwards, he said the word hypocrite. The word actually, the base word means to play a part. Because they went back to it. Actors that actually put on masks. She got definition. Go to hypocrite. Yeah, that's the. Yeah, but the Greek one, the Greek word of it, don't give you the English, whatever dictionary probably, but the actual word means to play a part. The Greek word does, and it means they went with back in the day. The people would go do these dramas. They would wear masks to portray a particular character. So what Jesus was basically telling them, telling the people that he's speaking to, is that you are playing a part of somebody perfect. You're playing a part of someone who does no wrong, or is not wrong, or you're pure. He say first, you playing a part. You playing a part like you better than this person. First, see, there's the thing. There's the law first. First, take out the log that's in your eye, so you can see clearly enough to pull the speck out your brother's eye. So you can't see clearly if you got too many issues. You got more issues than me. You can't help me. Basically. You can't do for me. You can't do anything for me. Okay, it's like this. It's like somebody on drugs. Still on drugs, ain't trying to cover from drugs. Go out there and try to get people off drugs. you know. So
It's that person who.
yeah, a person, a hypocritic. No, that's hypocrite.
Oh Lord. Well, that kind of fits. Well, I've been looking at the dictionary.
Yeah, she got hypocritic, which is somebody is excessively critical. Hypocrite. All right, I got definition. A person who pretends to have virtues, morals, or religious beliefs, principles, etc., that he or she does not actually possess, especially a person whose actions belie stated beliefs. So, a person who feigns some desirable or public approved attitude, especially one whose private life, opinions, and statements belie his or her private sake. Okay. So basically, they fake. She's saying it to play a part. They're playing the part of someone that's not them. And that's what Jesus basically called scribes, Pharisees constantly, because they're playing the part of holy men, but they're not. They weren't holy. They were jealous. They was envious. They were traitorous because they were working for Rome. So they basically was just doing. They weren't who they said they were. The only thing that Jesus said good about them is say they sit in Moses' seat. Say everything they tell you to do it because they teach the law. But don't do as they do because they say and do not.
Basically, they don't practice what they preach.
They don't practice what he preach. So the thing is, he said, don't concern yourself. Going back to before start removing someone else's sawdust, we had better get our own blinding 2x4 out of the way. It's ridiculous for us to spend so much time finding the little things that are wrong with others while ignoring our own huge problems. So if you get into the point where you just so focused on what other somebody else is doing, and you know checking their Facebook and going on the gram looking at their gram and worrying about what they doing, and focus on you.
That's why I like when he said about the part about the speck in your friend's eye.
Yeah.
You know how little a speck is? And how we'll take a little bitty speck, a little small thing, and blow it up, and make it like, oh my, and we'll ridicule this person over a little thing, something that ain't even. We'll take say minor and take some minor and make it major.
Yeah.
And how you say that's why he even used the word speck. So you know that's like petty stuff. And how we worry about the petty stuff, and I mean a speck is like a little, just something you can barely see. And you take that and blow that up, and make that person look bad, their character, everything, and that is, like you said, that's wrong.
That's right.
For us to do that, for us to put somebody else down and just so we can exalt them, make our basically you just trying to make yourself look good. That's why he tell you, look in the mirror at your own self.
That's right.
See your own self.
Look in the mirror first.
So you're looking at something small and somebody else been doing what Jesus is saying, but you got something big in yours.
That's right.
Your big log is bigger than his little speck. But when you get through blowing up that little speck,
it becomes a log. But like Galatians 6:1 said, dear brothers, if brothers and sisters, any other believer is overcome by some sin, you who are godly should gently and humbly help that person back into the right path, and be careful not to fall into the same temptation yourselves. So you got to have humility, and when you're dealing with pulling my speck, you got to be gentle, because you poking in my eye, and you got to be able to see clear to poke in my eye. So if you poking in somebody else's eye trying to get something, get something out their eye, and you have blind doing it, you gonna hurt something. You gonna blind them because you're not seeing clearly enough to see clear enough to do do to help me.
Right. You have to do it in love.
Yeah, you gotta do it. That's what he was saying. You gotta do it in humility. And be godly and do it in humility. So whatever, when to bring that person, lovingly bring that person back, and to the right path. So because, like I said, we had example of that, of people that we had to bring back into the kingdom. And God showed us how to do that.
And you do it lovingly.
Yeah.
You'll win them back lovingly, not just going and charging them all up and making them feel horrible. They already. I mean, we don't need you to point. We know we doing. We know our flaws and our wrongs. And
Keep leaning away from that mic.
I know it's a habit. We know we doing. But if you're gonna come, and if you're gonna come to somebody, at least come with love, come with humility, and they will receive it. But if you come with this attitude where I'm just telling you the truth, I'm just telling you the truth, I'm just telling you, what's right, and that's good. That's good. You coming, if you come me all crazy, if you coming with me with the truth all in the wrong way, I'm gonna consider you. It's gonna feel like an attack.
It is gonna be like an attack. Yeah.
I'm like, hey, offense, defense, attack.
Yeah.
So you don't do that.
No.
You're not gonna reach nobody like that. Nobody's not gonna change or nothing. You didn't offend it.
Oh yeah.
We didn't offended a whole. A lot of people you offend doing that. So. Like I said, you don't know why you doing that to this person. This person might have some dirt on you. They might come back at you. Well, since you gonna tell me about me, well, hey, I didn't heard this about you. You don't. So you better be careful doing that to people.
Right.
You don't know what people have. They might know about your being. These big laws you got.
Yeah. They know about your being. That's good. That's good.
So you have to kind of use wisdom, use knowledge when you don't be all hypocritical and doing stuff like that. Like I say, because I had to learn.
Yeah, we both did.
I had to learn just being in marriage. And like I say, on that temper tantrum and wanting things to change or this, that, and the other. And I didn't go by it right. But I had to learn to do it God's way and not my way. I was doing it the wrong way. But, myself, I was thinking I was doing it right. Hey, this is the word of God. You need to line up. You need to straighten up. You just need to line up with the word of God. You ain't lining up with it. And I saying myself, I wasn't saying me. So, and when you like that, and when you judgmental, you don't see, you know. That's why Jesus said, look in the mirror. And see yourself, honey, like they say. Stop, and look.
Yeah. Right.
Stop looking and listen.
So like I say, we're gonna bring it to a close, but just to say one last thing, if you're gonna deal with someone, make sure your stuff is right. Like I had an old waiting brother song, sweep around your own front door. Try to sweep around mine. Make sure your porch clean before you come cleaning my porch. And not saying you have to be perfect to do it, but at least be working on your issue, so you can be able to see. That's the seeing clearly.
There you go.
You're working on the issue because, and as you're working on it, you can see clearly. Because you'll know, okay, I can empathize with this guy or this gal, and let them know that, hey, I understand where you at, and I can help you because I'm working through mine too. We can do it together. Instead of me trying to do it and I ain't worked on my issue. So that's the seeing clearly. You have to see clearly enough. You have to be working toward recovery or working toward restoration to be able to do that in other people's lives.
Yeah, and that's what brings about change. When you had brought up earlier, how you were saying about change, You know, because like you say, it's give and give. It's
Yeah, it's
give and
give and
give. It's
give.
not
Yeah,
give
it's
and
give
take.
and
Give
give.
and take is give and give.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
you change, I change.
Yeah.
You change, I change. It can't be, I change, and you not.
Change,
And
yeah.
you not. And you not.
Yeah.
So, no, you can't do that. It has to be change and change. You know, and we gonna both change together. Not, you know, how we have this thing like give and, no, it can't be give and take.
Yeah.
This, you change, I change. So, and I like that, how you brought that.
Yeah. So that's our website. That's our website. But we thank God for y'all. Listening to us, and hopefully this recording came out correctly. I'm also, like say, uploaded on tomorrow. The audio version of it, but tonight I think it's pretty much going to be up on our platforms that we have. But when we go out, put up our ad to show you where we are, and then we'll do our ending thing after. So you'll see where we are and stuff like that. But you can go to embracemarriagetogether.com. That's our website, and you can check us out there. You can also message us through that site if you want to contact us. You go to embracemarriagetogether.com/contact. And let my wife do her thing, and we're gonna go and eat. I'm hungry.
Yeah, me too, man. My stomach doing the most.
Yeah.
Well, on tonight, I'd like to say thank you and God bless you for listening in and tuning in to our podcast broadcast, whatever you may call it. And we like to say embrace God, embrace love, embrace marriage, family, one another, and friends. And dare to be different.
God bless y'all. We'll see you on the next time.